What is going on, guys? Episode 19 of the Fast Times with Cyro podcast. It's been a minute, but the national championship just happened. So, let's hop into it. What was it? 42 to 25 was the final score of the national championship game. And I've really never been a guy who watched the full championship game. Never been a huge guy in college football, but this being my first year in college, as a 20-year-old freshman, took 3 years off before going to college. I love sports. Sports broadcasting, journalism major right here. So I want to talk about the first thing was I was scared. I had money on this game. I had the over at 80. I did a live bet. It was fucking stupid. I thought this shit was going to go 50-50 like that one where it was what Jameis Winston led FSU to against Oregon, some shit like that, or Oregon. But no, I thought it was going to be a shootout like that. It didn't happen. It became a huge defensive stop. LSU looked like the better team. We're talking breakdowns on the offensive side of the ball. Trevor Lawrence, the man who is supposed to be the number one pick in the 2021 draft, looked awful. He was throwing bad throws. Honestly, he had a worse spiral on some of his throws than Peyton Manning did ever in his career, and I think that's hard to beat. But with that being said, they just couldn't get in rhythm, Clemson. And people thought they were going to get in a rhythm right out the third gate. That's kind of why I did that live bet on the over. Because I thought they were going to get hot. I really thought they were going to take it off in the second half, but they didn't. And LSU played a hell of a game. They went hard in the beginning, and then they were down, but then they took over, and they never let go, and they did great ball control. Honestly, out of the two guys, I think LSU did a better job coaching, and I think Clemson just didn't show up. The team did not show up. We all know this is a better team than that, and I think the team just did not show up. They weren't running the ball. They were just playing catch-up the whole time, putting a lot of the pressure on Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence was battered. They were dropping 7 guys and rushing 4, and when you get a 4-man rush on any quarterback and you're able to consistently pressure them like LSU was able to, you're going to create a rough day for the quarterback, because he's going to be, once you hit a guy enough times, you're going to have him scared. You're going to have him looking over his shoulder and waiting to be hit all the time, which sucks, but that's how you win games. And obviously college football is different than NFL, where running the ball is the way to win the playoffs. This was, you got to put your gas on the pedal until you have enough lead where you just run out the clock, and I think LSU did that. They came out a little bit slow, but they picked things up. Joe Burrow being the best rusher on that team, they were running the ball really well. They were just moving the chains well, LSU, and Clemson had no answers for them at all. Obviously, at the end of the game, they kind of sputtered, but that was because they were just killing the clock, and everyone knows what they were just doing there. But still, it was a great game. Clemson just fell off. They weren't ready. They had some injuries. There was dumb penalties on Clemson's part, and they kind of just let that game slip away from them, in my opinion. It was a real quick take on that. But let's hop into Joe Burrow, the man of the hour. I need to pull up Joe Burrow's stats. Joe Burrow stats for this past game. Because let's look at this. Joe Burrow, he's kind of, I just read a tweet that he reminds this guy of, what's his face? Reminds him of Kurt Warner. I don't know why I blanked right there. All right, let's go. Joe Burrow, after tonight, has thrown 55 touchdown passes, and it only took him, going into this game, he had 55 touchdown passes, but he has broken the record that Cole Brennan, the Hawaiian quarterback, back in '09, he broke it. Now responsible with his 64 touchdowns. Isn't that fucking insane? I'm trying to find the stats of Joe Burrow from this game. I can't find them anywhere. You'd think right after this game they would update them, but they haven't really updated them. Someone give me the stat of this last game. Okay, over Clemson, he threw 5 touchdowns. Okay, 5 touchdowns, 31 completions out of 49 attempts, 463 yards. He threw, in the past 5 games, 82%, 71, 73, 74, and 63%. This guy was sacked 5 times. They did rattle him a little bit early. But Joe Burrow, he has a scrambling ability that I have not seen in a while. So this guy isn't the most athletic guy. If you guys did not know, his dad was the defensive coordinator for Ohio State for a while. And the thing that was happening is that he came from Ohio State, had a okay year last year, and complete change. This man is an assistant coach playing quarterback. Okay, I wrote about this in my LinkedIn post, and now I'm going to start doing blogs on LinkedIn because it's one of the things you can still grow on, but I digress. Let's hop back into this. Okay, this team, 15-0, 8-0 in conference play. Joe Burrow was pretty much the leading rusher for this team for the majority of the game. Okay, majority of the game he was the leading rusher. They were running. I don't even know if they were play designs. I firmly believe most of his runs weren't quarterback designs. What they were was this guy reading the offense. Okay, reading the defense. Honestly, not the offense. Reading the defense and looking what the defense was giving him, and taking those reads in, and knowing that these certain plays he was going to be able to just drop back, take the 3 steps, look, tuck that ball, and run, okay? Maybe it was a quarterback draw, but I firmly believe that this guy, Joe Burrow, was reading the coverages and realized, look, there's going to be a lane right there. There's going to be a lane there. They're scared I'm going to throw the ball underneath. Because that's what he did a lot. He threw the ball underneath, and that's normal. But I firmly believe that he was reading these coverages and seeing what they were doing. Also, he would run the ball. He had multiple 10-yard scrambles, multiple 8-yard scrambles. He was moving the chains when needed to be done, when he felt like he wasn't going to be able to get the ball out. Granted, he should have had an extra touchdown in this game when Jamar Chase did drop the ball. So, I don't know if I'm wrong, but I think he only has 55 touchdowns on the year also. But Jamar Chase dropped the touchdown pass, hit him on the left side instead of dropping his hands. Little readjustment of the wide receiver so main. So he should have 6 touchdowns. But he also reminds me of a young Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson on the fact that if they can just scramble to extend the play and make a pass, they'll do it. Okay? But they'll scramble if the yards are there because Russell Wilson's a little bit more athletic than Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers, and a younger Aaron Rodgers probably more athletic than Joe Burrow. But Joe Burrow knows when to be a crafty scrambler and get to the right place, and he's shown that. Another great thing is he knows where to put the ball where his receivers can get it, okay? He's very good at that. He's very good at making the right reads and doing the simple things in an offense, okay? He can be a great manager, or he can put the offense on his back and move the chains and do what's needed. There was a couple of plays that he literally backed up, ran around from the pass rush, obviously. Sometimes talking is hard, but from the pass rush, he would run around and prevent the pass rush from tackling him, okay? And extend the play and find a receiver to move the chain. Or, this is a very pro-style offense. There was multiple times where you would see the running back, Edwards something, go out and he would do a motion. They're running a lot of motions, which I don't think you see often in college offenses. And while they were giving him, usually routinely, they like to work the intermediate and short game passes and work their way up the field. But this game, this guy was taking shots down the field. He was averaging 9.5. Okay, and that's the lowest, almost the second lowest. Georgia was 9.2. But those are NFL numbers. He was pushing 12.5 the game before against Oklahoma, and 11 yards against Texas A&M, and 11.5 against Arkansas. This guy can move the chain. This guy knows what he's doing. Okay? He knows how to win. He can still push the ball down the field when needed. There's multiple throws down the field where he put up Marshall Jr., 6'4" receiver, looking at the 50-50 balls and looking at the matchups at the line of the scrimmage. Making those reads are something that is way beyond his years, and he's doing a great job at it. He's looking, I got a 6'4" guy going against a 6'5", 5'10" corner. Okay? Who's going to win that? Who's going to win a 50 ball? Who's the advantage right there? 6'4", 215 receiver or 5'10", 6 foot, 180 pound cornerback? That's math that you look at that and you obviously look at a couple of reads, but sometimes you got to stare at his hand because that's probably going to work. Because this guy's got like a 4 to 5 inch advantage on the cornerback. Those are high play throws. I really can't get over the fact that his rushing ability threw off, because obviously once the quarterback's running there, he probably had 30, 40, 50 yards. I don't even know how many yards he had rushing the ball, but at least 30 yards, 30 to 40 yards. And once you start doing that, he was getting first downs, moving the chains. That makes the other team have to have a quarterback spy or have the Mike and Will linebackers thinking, damn, I can't go too far in coverage because if I give him too much room, he's going to get 10 yards. So now you're fucking them over because you're thinking that the defense was originally going to guard underneath, but now you're scrambling. So now they're worried that you're going to wreck them with the deep ball, but if you don't wreck them with the deep ball, you're going to use your legs. That completely changes it. Now going into the draft, if the Bengals want to stay committed to Andy Dalton, which I don't see the reason why. Trade him, try to send him to the quarterback needy team, and or maybe what they did with the Dolphins did with Ryan Tannehill. But I think you can get a third or fourth round pick for Andy Dalton. There's a season where Andy Dalton was MVP candidate for parts of the season. He was nicknamed the Red Rifle for being quarterback. I still think he could be at least an average starter in the NFL. With that being said, I think Joe Burrow has guaranteed a spot at least as top 3 pick, and he's had that since he won the Heisman. He guaranteed himself as top 3 pick, but right now he makes a hard conversation. For is it Chase Young or Joe Burrow? I really think Joe Burrow just took that crown. Joe Burrow just pretty much just got himself $15 million. Isn't that like the guaranteed in there? I do firmly believe Joe Burrow is the quarterback to make this next jump. Alright, what else do we have to talk? I have like a little list in front of me. Okay, we're going to hop over. We're going to do a little draft right here. What do the Cincinnati Bengals do with the first pick? We were just talking about this. Alright, you got Andy Dalton. This guy owed like $20-something million. So you can either find a team, throw on a couple late round picks, be like, look, we're going to be a 16th round pick, Andy Dalton, to a team maybe like the Miami Dolphins, who don't want to fucking draft a quarterback in this year's draft, or want to get a guy like Jordan Love, develop him, have him sit behind a guy, okay, and have like Andy Dalton there. Okay? Andy Dalton is not a bad quarterback. If we pull up Andy Dalton's career stats, let's pull that up. Andy Dalton. I firmly like Andy Dalton. I've always think Andy Dalton has been a very capable quarterback. But Andy Dalton, the offensive coordinator that he had, Bill Lazor, is now in the Chicago Bears. You can see, maybe does he go to Chicago? I personally don't think so. I think Trubisky, they're really firm believers in Mitch Trubisky. But let's talk about Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton this year had the worst season of his career in the sense that the team not believing it. He threw for 59%, which was his lowest since 2017. But honestly, it was his worst QBR rating since his whole career started. He's never played that bad, and I think it's because the team did not believe him. Why are you going to play good where you don't feel wanted? That's just my thing. But in games that they did win, like right here, even though he threw for 57% against Cleveland, he threw a touchdown. He can still run the ball. Obviously, Andy Dalton's 32. You kind of want to move back. But Andy Dalton has seasons where he's thrown for 25 touchdowns. He's thrown for 33 touchdowns. Andy Dalton has 5 winning seasons. His first 5 years in the league, he won. He had 4 double-digit wins from the year 2012 to 2015. Okay, double-digit wins in each of the seasons, 10-3 of them and 11-1 of them. Andy Dalton isn't a bad quarterback. If you feel like you're just a few pieces away, get Chase Young. That's what you should do. If I was the Bengals, I personally look. You got a young coach. Coaches like their own guy. Andy Dalton isn't his guy. Andy Dalton was Marvin Lewis's guy. Right now, you could send him to a team, maybe like the Redskins, if they don't feel like they want to continue starting Dwayne Haskins. If they do want to send for a full season, I probably think they're going to have him start. I really think Oakland likes Derek Carr. I do think I could be wrong, but all these Derek Carr rumors, I think Derek Carr's going to really stay there. He's on a good deal. It's all there. Miami Dolphins, maybe the Indianapolis Colts could take a guy like Andy Dalton. He can move the chains. He can do shit like that. He's not bad. His career completion rating of 62% and a quarterback rating of 87. It's not the best. But Andy Dalton, I think, is in the same tier as Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, of course, when he won the Super Bowl. Of these quarterbacks, those are the bottom tier guys you need to win a Super Bowl. Guys who can be game managers, guys who can not turn the ball over, guys who can just do what needs to happen. I firmly believe that to win a Super Bowl, you need a top 5 to top 10 rushing offense, and a rushing defense, because you got to be able to stop the run and run the ball in December and January to get yourself to the Super Bowl, and a quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over and can make the right throws at the right time. 95% of the time, those quarterbacks like Jimmy Garoppolo, Andy Dalton, Kirk Cousins, Nick Foles, Joe Flacco, those are the type of guys that are usually very streaky. They're hot, sometimes they're cold, but when those guys get hot, they get hot. Look at Ryan Tannehill. He's really hot. Nick Foles, both times when they made runs, Nick Foles is the type of quarterback, they get hot at the right time. When they're hot, they're hard to beat. And I'm a firm believer in that. When certain players aren't, you would never say they're top 15. I mean, maybe those guys, maybe. You would never say they're top 10 quarterbacks. But you can agree that when those guys are playing at the top of their games, they're damn near close to a top 5, top 10 quarterback. Kirk Cousins has shown it. Ryan Tannehill has shown it. Joe Flacco has shown it. Those are the guys the quarterbacks that you question, are they elite or not, are the ones that usually end up winning a Super Bowl on a team that is a top 5, top 10 rushing team and top 5, top 10 rushing defense and defense in general. So if I'm back to what I'm saying, the Cincinnati Bengals, why not? Why not draft Joe Burrow? Okay? Draft Joe Burrow. Then everything else you should work on is your offensive line, defensive line. You got to prioritize the defensive line and offensive line because there's two foundational pieces of both sides of the football. Once you build those up, like San Francisco 49ers, once you built up your line, it's like the whole team works together. Because when you have a good line, they control the line of scrimmage. So you make it hard to run. Okay, you got a forced pass. You've got a couple guys who got man-to-man buying the system. It's one of these sports that when teams get confident and they get hot, they're good. Obviously, it's not like soccer where you could have no stars to win it, but Tennessee Titans are that team right now. And the Bengals could follow that game plan. You got Joe Mixon in the backfield. Who's probably a top 5, number 5 best running back in the league right now. Okay, get Joe Burrow, run the ball, build up the offensive line through the draft and free agency. Same thing with the defensive side, and bring in defenders through the free agency and the draft. You could be a playoff team next year if you give Joe Mixon the ball enough and force Joe Burrow to just do what he's being told. Not to do too much, just do what he's good at. That offense. Let's hop into a new subject. NFL Super Bowl prediction: Tennessee Titans versus the San Francisco 49ers. I think the Packers are the worst team in the. We're gonna break this down with 4 teams, so we're gonna start on the NFC. Sorry for hitting the microphone. We're gonna start on the NFC. Okay. I firmly believe that the Packers are the worst team. Packers are gonna leave. They have the youngest head coach with experience, obviously the youngest with the least amount of NFL head coaching experience. In the sense that I think Mike Vrabel's a way better coach than. They're almost equivalent. I think they're like a season off. Same thing could be said about the Niners coach being, in his 3rd season or 4th season, Kyle Shanahan. But I think this is where the Packers lose. I think the run's going to get stopped. The 49ers team is, I really don't want to go into detail. I just don't think there's enough offensive weapons on the Packers side, even though Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. They will not be able to get it done because they do not have enough offensive weapons on the offensive side of the ball. That being said, I do firmly believe that the 49ers will destroy them because they have a better offensive line and defensive line than the Packers do, and more receivers on both. Better receivers, and a running game. Literally almost the same team, just 49ers are a tier ahead. 49ers now, look, you got DeForest Buckner, Arik Armstead, Nick Bosa, and D Ford, and if you really care about Solomon Thomas, but he's garbage. On that offensive line, then you got Quan Alexander came back. You got literally that defense is insane. Now you got Tevin Coleman and Raheem Morstead at the running back 2-headed thing. Jimmy Garoppolo. It's like Joe Flacco. When they're hot, and he's playing good. He's got Dante Pettis, Marquise Goodwin, Emmanuel Sanders, George Kittle. Let's even go to the Super Bowl for a fact. Now, Kansas City Chiefs. Man, they might be as hot or even hotter than the Tennessee Titans. Patty Mahomes out here with vengeance. Patty Mahomes lost last year. Patty Mahomes knows that he can beat the Tennessee Titans. But what's stopping the Chiefs from going to the Super Bowl is themselves. The Chiefs are one of those all-star teams that they're so good that you know they should be. And they know they should be in the Super Bowl. But when you play against a Tennessee Titans team that has a chip on their shoulder, that is Derrick Henry, who is hotter than the entire Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said, you need to run the ball to win in December and January. Chiefs aren't a great running team. They're a great passing team. But look, if the Tennessee Titans start with the ball, get a touchdown, that's all catch up now for the Chiefs. Okay? If the Chiefs are going to have to... The Chiefs get the chance to start with the ball, so you make the other team come back. But what makes the Tennessee Titans so great is Mike Vrabel is a Bill Belichick coaching tree disciple. He knows how to win disparity. He knows how to how to draw penalties on the other team, how to manage the clock, and what to do to win. What they're going to do is they're going to feed. They're going to feed Derrick Henry. They're going to control the clock. They're going to do the time management. They're going to make the Chiefs play their game. And if the Tennessee Titans do succeed in making the Chiefs play their game, it's going to be a long day for the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, you can say, what you want about Patty Mahomes being great, but when you're blitzing 4 to 5 guys and they're creating pressure every single time, and you can't run the ball, and you're having to catch up, and you're in your head, you got to make big plays, so you're forcing a lot of the throws, then it's going to be a long day for your offense. Because Tennessee Titans are playing Super Bowl caliber defense and offense. Derrick Henry, if they make it to the Super Bowl, that's definitely Super Bowl contending type shit. I just think it's pretty remarkable what they're doing. Okay, and that's like my Super Bowl take. I can live with that being my Super Bowl take for all of that. Hopefully you do. I think that's a reasonable take. I don't think it was out of spec. All right, let's talk the NBA midseason awards. NBA. Gotta search up the NBA leader stats. Season leaders. Let's go over the season leaders. Giannis and LeBron and Luka, obviously in the MVP. MVP, I think, is the hardest thing. I don't think James Harden's going to win MVP. 37 points is amazing a game. 38%. He's shooting 13.5 threes a game, which is insane. You obviously see Giannis, who's scoring at 55% field goal shooting. Then Luka Doncic has 29 points. He's half point. Trae Young obviously is going to win it. Bradley Beal. So I think Anthony Davis, LeBron, Doncic, Antetokounmpo. I don't think Harden's going to win it because Harden's not liked as much by the people in the NBA. I just don't think it's going to happen. I see LeBron winning it if LeBron just gets kind of handed the award because everyone just fucking likes LeBron and they're just like, oh, what you overcame and that you're averaging a steal and a half a game, an assist a game. You're almost averaging a triple-double. LeBron at like 34. Kind of got to give it to the guy right there, you know what I'm saying? Kind of got to give it to the guy right there. Anthony Davis, because he's probably going to be Defensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year is going to Anthony Davis, without a doubt. I think that's definitely going to happen. I really see Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis, and LeBron. They're not going to want to give it to Giannis Antetokounmpo again, just because, I could see it. He's averaging a double-double, but I really don't think they're going to do it because I think they're going to want to give it to Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis needs his first one, or Luka. Anthony Davis, I just see the storyline between Anthony Davis, Luka, and LeBron, because the NBA loves storylines. They love storylines that they can market and shit. So I see the Luka, Anthony Davis, and LeBron one. That's going to come down on the wire. Real close. I really think it's going to be Anthony Davis or Luka Doncic for the MVP. Offensive Player of the Year, James. Is there even Offensive Player of the Year? Probably not. Scoring title's going to go to James Harden, obviously. Defensive Player of the Year, Anthony Davis, for a fact. Most Improved Player, Dwight Howard. That's going to happen. Sixth Man of the Year. I don't know how you can tell who's coming. Bojan Bogdanovic? I don't even know. Or Buddy Allen. I don't know who you can see is the sixth man on a team. I wish they give you Lou Williams. Maybe do it again. I can't really see who's going to be the best sixth man. I can't picture, I wish I could get a stat who plays the most minutes without starting. I wish that could be something I could do. Yeah, I can't find that. But yeah, those are mine. All-star team. Pretty simple. James Harden, Giannis, Luka, Trae Young, Bradley Beal, Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard, Devin Booker, Kawhi, LeBron. I see Brandon Ingram going, Pascal Siakam. I don't think Russell Westbrook will make it. Zach LaVine, Donovan Mitchell, Joel Embiid, Maybe Wiggins, because he's averaging 23 points. That's not a guy who could win most improved. I don't think DeRozan. I don't think Spencer Dinwiddie. Maybe Spencer Dinwiddie. He's averaging 22, but if the fans do vote, have much of a say. I think C.J. McCollum, Kemba Walker, Jimmy Butler would. Now this is where it gets down to the tough guys. Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, maybe Bojan Bogdanovic, Jason Tatum, yeah. The last couple, Devontae Graham, I do see. So Devontae Graham could be the most improved for that, most improved another guy. I think Rookie of the Year will go to probably Ja Morant. That's easy. Ja Morant's going to get Rookie of the Year. And then Coach of the Year, either Frank Vogel, Rick Carlisle, or that's right. Rick Carlisle, Frank Vogel, or Brad Stevens, Nick Nurse, Mike Budenholzer, or the basic usual list of the guys. Besides that, all right. Now we're just going to talk about the most random part of this podcast, last 30 minutes. I just saw, kids that I went to high school with having kids. I'm fucking 20 years old, so people could either be between the ages of 18 and 22 that I know, personally know. This guy's 21, 22. It just blows my mind. I couldn't have a kid. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do later today or tomorrow. I got work, obviously, so I know that's going to be around there, but, having a kid, having one of my sperms actually grow up. Sometimes I think I'm sterile. Dude, I come with my girlfriend so much that it scares me. It was every 10 times you come in, they should have a kid. Still haven't had a scare. Probably should see if my fishes are swimming. I don't even know. It's not that big of a deal. But either way, guys, I really hope you guys did enjoy this episode. Please, if you do have friends, family, anybody who likes sports and shit and just wants to laugh, tell them Fast Times with Cyro is the way to be. We're going hard this year, reading about random shit, drinking a lot of coffee. Love coffee. I shit a lot now. But yeah, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow me on Spotify, follow me on Instagram, Sedek Hulk, follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook. Just share this shit. Just make my dream come true. Be fucking amazing. Either way, guys, hope you guys have a great day, because I know I will. Till next time, guys. Peace out. Peace out, motherfucker.